Hi, this is Ryan with Blair Technology Group. In this video, we'll be taking a look at the startup process of a freshly imaged Windows 8.1 machine. This should be the exact same thing you would see on your screen when you start up your laptop or desktop, and this video will show you the process of setting up your machine for the first time. So the first thing we're going to see is going to come up to the region and language settings. Typically you want to leave everything by default, but you do want to change your time zone. Default will be Pacific time zone, so if you're on the West Coast you don't really need to change anything. If you're not on the West Coast, however, you will want to click it and it'll drop down this menu here, and you'll want to select your proper time zone. We're in Eastern time, so we're going to go ahead and select Eastern time, US and Canada. Once you have your selection picked out, just left click on it and you'll see it'll put it in the box there. Once that's finished, just go ahead and click the next button. This screen will be where you enter your Windows 8.1 product key. This product key will be located on what they call a COA, or Certificate of Authenticity. This will be located on your actual computer. If it's a desktop, the sticker will be stuck to the top of the desktop, assuming you have it standing upright. If it's a laptop, if you flip your laptop over, you'll see a Windows 8.1 sticker on the bottom of the laptop. These stickers are typically kind of a checkered pattern, white, blue, orange, and kind of a tannish brown color in a checkered pattern. It'll have two barcodes on this sticker, and in between the two barcodes will be your product key. The print is very small on these keys, so you do want to be careful, especially with the number 8 and the letter B as in boy. They are very easily mixed up, and as you can see, I'm just putting in some X's. That's not a valid product key, obviously, but I can't put one in the video. So you will want to enter your product key. You do want to make sure it is correct, so you do want to double check it, because it will not take the key unless it is correct. Now, if you can skip this process, you'll see there's a skip button there in the bottom corner, so you can come back to this. You will have roughly 30 days to activate, and Windows will certainly remind you that you do need to activate. Once you're through this process, it'll take you to a personalization page, and this is basically where you just select what color you would like your background for some of the Windows features later on. And it'll also ask you to name your PC in this white box here with a blinking cursor. You can name the PC whatever you would like. In this video I just named the PC test here, and I switched it to a little lighter blue here. So once you have this set up and you do have your PC name, you can just go click next. If you have a laptop or a desktop with a USB Wi-Fi adapter plugged in, this should be the next screen that you get, and this is where you would connect your machine to your wireless network. As you can see, I'm going to go ahead and connect to Dead Zone here, which is our Wi-Fi back where we work. And once you click on here, it's going to bring up a box, and it's going to ask you for your network key, the password you need to connect your Wi-Fi. So you just want to type it in this box. Once you type it in this box, you can just go ahead and click next. This will bring us to the settings options for Windows 8.1. This will allow you to customize the way your data is shared with Microsoft. You can just use Express settings. This Express settings is what Microsoft would recommend for the easiest Windows experience. But if you do want to see each setting step by step of what they have turned on, what they have turned off, you can certainly click Customize, and I'm going to run you guys through this right quick. So when you click Customize, the very first thing you're going to see is your network settings. You can do home or work networks. This is for if you have a couple computers networked together, you share files, or you have a network printer. Anything that you want to do basically network, you're going to need to pick that home or work option. If you don't have anything, you only have one computer, you can click the public places option. It's a little more secure, but if you ever did want to network your computer, you're certainly going to change it back. So I would probably suggest just doing the home or network just for convenience sake. So we'll go ahead and pick this. This will bring us into the update your PC and apps screen. Um, in this drop down box here at the top, you can choose how you want to receive Windows updates, all the way to turning off Windows updates, and you definitely don't want to do that because a lot of those are security patches, so you definitely want your updates. There's a couple options here: install important and recommended updates. This is what I would suggest, just because this will give you some driver updates as well. The rest of these options are on by default, and me personally, I would probably leave them on. All of these are valid, good options for updating your programs and apps that you download, as well as telling websites that you don't want to be tracked, and some protection against some malicious content with there. So once you have this set, you can just go ahead and click next. This will bring you to a second page of options here. The top is checking for solutions. If you ever have a problem or a program crashes, occasionally Windows will go look and try to find a solution. It's not all that great at finding solutions, unfortunately, from what I've seen in the past personally, but you can turn this on or off. If you want to basically toggle one of these boxes, you just mouse over it and left click, which you'll see a little later in this video here. To help improve Microsoft products and services. These are all off by default, and these are sharing quite a bit of your personal information with Microsoft for their customer experience program. I would probably leave these off by default. You can turn them on, but there's really not much reason to. So once you do have these options selected, you can just go ahead and click next. This will bring us to another page of options here, and this is basically privacy settings, what you want to allow Microsoft to use from your private browsing data and computer data, as well as some third party, which is the apps typically. Read through these very carefully, certainly make your own decision. If you don't use Internet Explorer, use a Google Chrome or a Firefox or something like this, you can probably pretty much turn all of these off. They're not going to give you a great deal of help, especially if you're not using Internet Explorer. If you are using Internet Explorer, it will do a couple things for you. Say you search Chinese restaurant. If it's allowed to see your location, it will give you the Chinese restaurants right in your area, so many miles within your zip code. If they can't see your location, it's not going to give you that defined search. So it's really convenience versus privacy, and you can certainly make your own decision on what you'd like to do there. So, and you can change these to on and off. Just left click on the little box here, and you can see it flips back and forth. So certainly, like I said, read through these, make your own decision. Once you have these set, you can just go ahead and click the next button. This will bring you to the sign in with Microsoft account page. If you do have a Hotmail account or an Outlook.com account, you can use your Microsoft login here. So basically, you would type in whatever at hotmail.com, whatever your email is, or outlook.com, followed by your normal email password. If you do have that, you can go ahead and click next. Now, if you do not have a Microsoft account, you can get around this. What you'll want to do is actually go ahead and click on create a new account. At this point, you can create a Microsoft account if you would like. You certainly do not need to. If you do want to create one, you'll need to type the information in these boxes, create an email address at either Outlook or Hotmail.com, and create a password. If you do not want to do this, you can just go ahead and click on sign in without a Microsoft account, and this will skip this process for you. This will bring you into your account username and password. You can create any username that you would like. This is basically what you're going to see every time your machine starts up as your main username. Now, if you do want a password, you have security reasons that you don't want anybody else getting in your computer. You got kids at home or whatnot. You can set a password. So what you would do is go into the second box, type in your password, re-enter the password in the third box down just to verify it, and then put in a hint. So if you ever did forget your password, it'll pop up that little hint, and hopefully you'll remember your password. Now, anytime your computer goes to sleep or you restart your machine, you will have to enter this password to get into Windows. You probably do want to write it down as you type it in just to make sure that you do not forget it. If you do not want a password, you don't really have any security issues or worried about people getting on your computer, just leave all three of these boxes blank. This Windows at that point will assume you do not want a password, and it'll just boot up into Windows. You won't have to fool with ever putting in a password. Once you're done with that, just go ahead and click next, and your machine will restart and go through this process. At this point, Windows will go through its finalization setup process. It'll go through several changes here. I have cut a lot of this out just to save time on the video. So if your machine does not go through this process as fast as it's going through the video, that is to be expected. So nothing to be concerned about. This typically takes about 5 to 10 minutes to go through these windows, as you'll see here. And once this is complete, you will be into Windows for the first time. And this is what your Windows desktop will look like by default. So everybody should look the same. Once in here, you can certainly feel free to go ahead and start installing your programs as you see fit. You will get several Windows updates over the next couple days. This is to be expected. They do take quite a bit of time to install, so don't be alarmed if that does happen. Um, so I hope this video helped, and if you run into any problems, certainly feel free to give us a call at 855-252-4784. Again, that's 855-252-4784. We're available from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday. Have a good day. Thank you.